Homework 10, Installment Buying, Video 1. In the previous videos for this series of homeworks, we've learned how to deal with percents, how to calculate simple interest, and how to calculate compound interest. While you'll run across some of those things in your life, you'll probably see something more like this, installment buying. Now, what do I mean by installment buying and why does it exist? Some of you may be in the middle of a car payment, or in some point in the future you may purchase a car or a house or a very large priced item, except you can't afford all of it up front. So how do you buy it? Well, normally the way it goes is you pay some money up front, it's called the down payment, and then you make an agreement with the person you're purchasing the item from to repay them a certain amount each month, or however often you make your payment, until it's paid off. Now, the person selling the item isn't just going to say, well, for example, say you want to buy something that costs $10,000 and you put $1,000 down. The person selling you the item isn't going to say, well, you still owe me $9,000, so let's just cut that into monthly payments until it's paid off. Now, why would the seller not want to do that? Because they are effectively loaning you money for free by requiring you to pay only exactly the cost of the item. So the seller will usually impose a finance charge that is the charge for the privilege of borrowing this money over time and for paying out what you owe over time. So the benefit to the seller is they make more than the actual price of the item for loaning you the money over time, which is equivalent to saying you don't have to pay it all right now, but you can pay it out over time. And the advantage for the buyer is that they can purchase a large ticket item without having all the money up front. So you will be involved in a fixed installment loan unless you never buy a large ticket item or if you're just crazy rich. So let's talk about some of the terms involved in a fixed installment loan. Starting with, what do I mean by a fixed installment loan? A fixed installment loan is a loan that is repaid in equal monthly payments. Emphasis on the word equal. In this context, the word fixed means it doesn't change, it doesn't vary, it's always the same amount, so that you can predict in advance, okay, each month I have to pay X number of dollars towards this item that I'm buying. As we go through our calculations, there's going to be some more terms that require some explaining, starting with the amount financed. The amount financed is the amount borrowed after any down payment. So for example, if I'm going to purchase an item that costs $10,000 and I make a $1,000 down payment, I still owe you $9,000. That's the amount I have to finance. If you wanted to describe it more as a formula, the amount financed is the, and I want to be consistent with the wording in the book, price of the item, so how much the thing costs that you're buying, minus the down payment, if you make a down payment. If you don't make a down payment, then the amount financed is the price of the item. The total installment price is the total amount that the buyer pays, which is not necessarily the price of the item because the seller is going to charge you a finance charge for the privilege of paying it out over time. So is there a formula for total installment price? There's actually a couple, but it's more important to understand the concept than to just say the formula is this. One such formula for total installment price is the sum of all payments plus any down payment that you make. So basically all the money that you pay for this, the money you pay up front, plus the money you pay out over time. Another version of total installment price is price of the item plus the finance charge. In other words, what you're paying for the item plus the extra that you're paying for the privilege of paying it out over time. Speaking of finance charge is the charge for borrowing the amount financed. So for example, if I'm purchasing a $10,000 item, but I make a $1,000 payment, then I still owe you $9,000. That would be the amount financed, and the finance charge is often based on the amount financed. If I had to, but there's a way to calculate the finance charge. Actually, there's a couple of ways to calculate the finance charge. In general, though, it's the difference between how much you pay and what the item is actually priced at. So you could say that it's the total installment price, which is everything that you've paid, minus the price of the item. For example, if I purchased a $10,000 item, and after the agreement that I make, when I'm done making my payments, I've ended up paying $12,000, then $12,000, how much I paid, minus $10,000, the price of the item, is equal to $2,000, and that would be my finance charge. We're going to take a look at some numerical examples in the next video, but it's going to be crucial to understand all of these terms. Amount financed, down payment, I think everybody knows what that means. In the event that you don't, a down payment is how much money you pay up front right now. The amount financed is the rest that you owe. Total installment price is the total that you're going to pay when it's all said and done. And the finance charge is the extra that you paid beyond the cost of the item. Let's take a look at a specific example in the next video.